It's Andrew.
And Shamron.
Powerful Fuel Training. Just wanted to quickly give you guys a rundown of what you're going to see in this video. For the most part, it's just us talking. But this following week's going to be a more traditional powerlifting. We're taking big breaks between sets. Last heavy week going into the meet, and then the meet week, we probably won't have a ton of training footage that week, but what we will have is a little bit more of a diet as far as cutting weight to make our weight class, and water cut if we have to do that. So that can be something that we share with you guys along the way, getting ready for the meet.
Yeah, take them along with the journey. It's getting close.
Back video number 2. Just quick video explaining kind of what we're doing on the channel, explaining powerlifting, what we both want from the sport, and so on, which is currently chasing down a national squat record and hopefully one day running down that world record squat in the 220 class. Currently I am in an off season while Shamron and 3 of my other athletes are training for the meet in March. I qualified for the national event back in November. The national meet is going to be in October, so I have a pretty big off season here. So all of my time is going towards my favorite person in the world and
too sweet.
Our other 3 athletes that we have.
Yeah, and for me, my background's a little different. So my career was not fitness based, but fitness has always been a huge part of my life since I was young. I know in the last video I kind of hit on a little bit, dabbled in bodybuilding and just overall physique work, and then started powerlifting about 8 months ago. Is that what we decided on?
8 or 9, yeah.
8 or 9 months ago. And I've really fallen in love with it. But I think the biggest thing that I want from the channel, of course, is to document our journey together, your coaching abilities, and us getting to nationals. But also one of the big things that I have learned as I've become a part of the powerlifting world is that it significantly needs to be more feminized. I think there's a lot of misconceptions around the sport of powerlifting and how that it is a masculine or male sport. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that females believe that if they lift heavy, they're going to get bulky or to look like a male, which is totally not true. And, you know, you can go on kind of the background and the science behind that, as well as the outfits that you have to wear, which is funny to mention, but it's something I think all females that have competed, or at least that I've competed with, have worried about at some point, because it is a tight fitting outfit, but it's nothing more revealing than what most women wear in public or to the beach or the swimming pool. And, you know, honestly, after going to a meet, you would stand out if you weren't wearing it, and nobody's paying attention to what you're wearing. It's not a fashion show. Everyone's there to support your goals and, you know, see you hit your numbers and see you get the 3 white lights. Worrying about what you're wearing. And then, aside from women thinking that they're going to get bulky, I think another reason that powerlifting is often overlooked is because of the whole move around females wanting to get toned, quote unquote, which I'll let you kind of hit on why that's not the case.
So yeah, the reason toned is a made up. It's made up. I don't know who made it up, but it's not a real thing in the fitness industry. But typically, everybody's different. Everybody's going to store fat in different areas. The only way you can get it off is through diet and exercise. And when I say diet, I mean eat right. Don't not eat. So I could go on and on about this for hours, but I'll keep it brief. Just if you want to tone, quote unquote, that means I want to lose fat and build muscle. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're male or female. It means lose fat, gain muscle. That's what tone means. So
right. And I think it's important to note.
Yeah. It is important to note.
That throughout this journey, like I said, I've been in fitness for quite a while now. A lot of my friends and family know that I've always been interested in it, but I here recently have been told by multiple people that you look the best that you've ever looked, or you look the fittest you've ever looked. And I think a lot of that is because I am lifting heavy now, and I am growing muscle. And in no way have I all of a sudden just become a masculine and huge and bulky.
True.
I still weigh 123 pounds.
Yeah. And as far as you kind of had to learn how to lift the weight too.
Yeah, it was a huge change for me, especially not only the way that you work out, but also the way that you recover.
It is a different type of soreness. It's not even really soreness, but just
Exhaustion.
fatigue. Yeah, just total body fatigue. Now, obviously, you do have the days you're sore, but what I'm talking about when it comes to just, I can deal with soreness. I know what that is. But the fatigue that the body goes through it's just different than bodybuilding or CrossFit or something like that.
Yeah, much different.
I hadn't thought of until really just now. Maybe I would say to those people that started and just felt like they had been hit by a truck after the first couple of weeks, I would just say stick with it. It gets better as you get better. Well, it doesn't get better, but you put up with it because the numbers just go up and up and up. And it's like, all right, I'm getting stronger. I can deal with this.
I don't understand the appeal of being fit if it's just in like a cardio sense, like a respiratory.
Well, yeah, then that's not fitness. That's cardiovascular.
Yeah.
Like, that's a marathon runner.
Yeah. And what is your... Because like the way I feel like justify powerlifting is like, okay, it makes me strong throughout the day. Like, I don't have a kid, but you have a kid, like you're able to pick your kid up. You're able to haul the dog food. You're able, like, I don't need to ask people for help being strong enough to do all that. If you're just fit in a cardio sense, cool, if someone's chasing you, you can run away, but
Shit.
what other...
I'm ready to bust heads if somebody's after me. I'll say that's the reason I like CrossFit is
It's a good mix.
it's a good mix when it's done correctly.
Right.
But it's easy to mess up.
On strength, or either focusing on being fit and cardio, where it should be an equal.
Yeah, I mean, your top level athletes are really, really strong and really, really fit, and you can't get really, really strong without lifting weights.
Right.
It's impossible.
You needed work on the squat, bench, and deadlift. Not so much the bench, you just needed some corrective exercise to make the bench feel better. And not only till recently have we realized we needed to correct the bench, but I would say your biggest issue was the hip pain that you had pretty early on. And I think that was not only a challenge to me because it seemed like it moved from the glute to the hip flexor to the groin. It was kind of all over the place. So not only was it an interesting challenge to me to figure out what was going on, but I'm sure it was a challenge for you because as a competitor growing up, like I can tell you got that dog in you. You got that competitor. But if I had to give a generalized beginner tip, it would be don't fight through irritants. So if something's aggravating you, like a shoulder or a hip or a knee, don't fight through it. Give yourself a week of good, solid corrective exercises.
That was probably one of my biggest struggles, was just wanting to continue pushing
Yeah.
through the gym. And you've got to learn that recovery is just as important, and when to tell yourself to stop.
Yeah.
And let yourself recover.
And it's not even, in your case, it wasn't even recovery. It was just something wasn't working. Glutes weren't firing when they should. And luckily that's all it was, but I think we've nipped it in the bud and we're heading in the right direction.
You done?
How should we end a video? Like and subscribe.